Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of WrestleZone, and today I am joined by your MLW World Women's Featherweight Champion, the Kick Demon, Janai Kai. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fantastic to be chatting with you again. A lot has changed, but a lot is still the same. You're still out here winning championships. You're still kicking people's faces off. So, you've accomplished a lot this year. And obviously, we have to talk about this major event you've got lined up literally tomorrow for Major League Wrestling. I'm talking about MLW One-Shot, where you will be defending the MLW World Women's Featherweight Championship against the ever vibrant Maki Itoh. Before we get into this event, though, I want to reel it back to MLW Slaughterhouse, where you defeated Delmi Exo to become the champion.
Yeah.
Take us back to that moment. What emotions were you feeling, and what did that moment mean to you? It was also your debut for MLW.
Yeah, it was also a time where I just came back from Japan.
Yes.
So I was going into basically a situation where I was like, what's going to be happening moving forward? Japan is a very big deal. It's one of my dreams. So coming back into the States, it was one of those moments where I was like, all right, let's see where this goes now. And this opportunity came about. And I'm not too far from Philly, so I made that trip and I went ahead and showed what I got, what I learned from Japan and everything.
I am curious for you, you still have it's tied into Japan TJPW this weekend as well with Prestige and all of that. Talk about some of the things that you have learned or taken away from your experience in Japan that you think people can see through your work.
They're definitely going to see a different type of aura coming out of me, even by the way that I move. I've grabbed so much inspiration just from watching the other superstars over there and seeing how they move, how they go about things, because every day I'm learning over there as well. So I really took the opportunity to just focus, note take, and even learn from my opponents over there. And so you see a little bit more of that um, type of aura coming out of me, more attitude coming out of me, and a lot me of just going hard and really showing what I've got.
I'm curious for you, you've had multiple trips to Japan now and also working with TJPW and all around there. Is there a certain performer, like you just mentioned, that you were specifically mesmerized by, or you found yourself really kind of captivated by and looking inward towards their work?
Yeah, the last tour that I did was with the company Great, and a lot of the superstars there have been over to the States, have worked even like WWE in the past and all of that. And now they're over there doing their thing. And there's superstars like T-Hawk, who's champion over there, who is very spectacular in the ring. And also some of my faction girls, Michiko and Aoi, I learned a lot from them. Michiko really has this type of attitude in the ring that matches not many others. And I really took a lot of notes from how she is and how she goes about and how she really works in the ring. I even got the opportunity to work with Kyrie in the ring. We
Yes.
had a whole tag match and even just working with her was great. And so those are just a few of them that I was able to really, note take from and learn from.
Yeah, I saw a clip of you taking the insane elbow from Kyrie. So can you tell us about? Obviously, it looked very painful from your caption too as well. Tell us about that experience of working with Kyrie and the sensation of taking the insane elbow.
It was it was pretty surreal because right when they announced that she was even going to be part of the next show, I was like, whoa, okay, is this like just an appearance type thing? I mean, I know she has her last voyage type tour in Japan
Yes.
before she goes back to WWE, and I know she's getting those last matches in. But I was thinking, I don't know if I'll be even a part of that. Like, this is something special. Maybe she has like a particular person in mind to have a singles match with. And the match got announced as a tag match, and it was crazy in my eyes. Like, I'm even going to be a part of this, but it was great to even have the opportunity to work with her, talk with her a little bit even beforehand, because she's pretty much aware of like certain people here, certain companies over here, and I let her know where I've worked and everything. So she was very familiar with all of the companies and all of the superstars that, even those that trained me, she was very familiar with.
I'm curious through that conversation with her. Obviously, there's a language barrier going on and everything, but also through working her with her, did you take something away from that conversation or through working her that has kind of stuck with you?
Well, typically when I work with those that have been signed or have been in the game for a while, those who I've just been watching on TV, and I get the opportunity to work with them like in the indies or anywhere else, I just go ahead and watch how they work and I kind of listen to them. I literally let them take the lead on
Yeah.
everything. And it's pretty cool because she was pretty open to like what I had in mind of doing, even like my chaos kicks on her, which is
Yeah.
wild that I got to do that on her. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to be even in the ring with somebody like that, someone that goes at a very faster pace as well. It's a very good test for me and it's something that I want. So it was just great to even have that experience against her.
Yeah, and like you said, one of her, one of her very last matches before going back, which is I feel like has to be an even more surreal kind of layer to that. And I know you're a big fan of Japan, and now you are back in the States. You are the MLW World Women's Featherweight Champion. Obviously, you are no stranger to gold, but I feel like it's worth noting that you are the only third person to hold this championship in MLW, meaning it's still in its early stages of development, I would say. So, as you've now kind of taken on this title of MLW World Women's Featherweight Champion, what does your approach look like to continuing to carve the identity for this title? What are some of your specific goals you're looking to accomplish through this reign?
Well, every time I come into a new company, I always want to bring in a new attitude. I have
Yeah.
a very different look, a very different attitude, a very different style. So that's always my goal to represent that. And that is definitely my goal coming into the featherweight division, being champion. I'm looking to just go hard on all of my matches and really portray that and really show that this is a whole other level. This division is a whole other level, even though it's still a baby. We're going at a different level, a different pace, a different attitude.
And I feel like, I mean, you bring the attitude with your fierce kicks. Obviously, you've earned that nickname for a reason, the kick demon. Looking ahead at your title defense, you will be putting your championship on the line, like I said, against the ever vibrant Maki Itoh. This is not the first time you two have squared off, but as of now, you have yet to pick up a win against her. What is your mindset like heading into this matchup, and how do you plan to change your fate against Maki Itoh?
Well, like you said, this is not the first time that we faced in the ring. I'm very much familiar with her. I've worked at TJPW. And for this time around, it's a little bit different because I am coming in under, Promociones Dorado with Selena de la Renta, and I've really learned a lot even being with them, even with Rocky Romero, Jesus. It's just I'm learning from them and taking notes from them. And so again, I'm coming with a different attitude, a whole different goal in mind. And with Maki, she has a head of steel. She's all cute and whatnot, but you know that I don't play that. You know I don't. And I've seen her stomping on people's feet in the recently too. And with me not wearing any shoes, I can prepare for that, of course. I'm pretty quick myself, so she can try and do that all she wants. But again, this time around is going to be a little bit different, a little bit of a different attitude since the last time she saw me.
Yeah, look, I kind of wanted to touch on the last couple times. You faced off with her two times in singles competition, one time in tag competition at JCW and GCW. Talking about these, kind of looking back on these previous encounters, what was your experience obviously working with her? Obviously, you two are kind of your pace is kind of very similar, but obviously you two are very different when it comes to character wise.
Yeah. So I've watched and studied her matches, even like before I was going into TJPW. So very familiar with her. I respect the fact that she's even over here doing like month-long tours. She might as well move here at this
I
point, you know?
know.
So I really respect that. I respect the grind. I respect the hustle. I always look forward to wrestling an opponent like that, because I know how hungry they are. I know how hungry she is. I'm hungry as well. And I'm looking forward to just even going in the ring with her again, just because of the fact.
I'm very much looking forward to this too, as well. It's an opportunity to get some retribution for yourself and also defend your championship against her. The name of this event is One Shot. And like Fight TV pointed out, you have one shot to make a first impression. What impression do you hope to make through your performance?
Well, if I haven't already, because I mean,
That's true.
some of you saw last time I knocked somebody out right with one kick. So it even takes that. It even takes that. It takes even a nice little dragon sleeper, you know. So I have all of the tools. I have a different style once again. So coming into this, I mean, if I have to show it to the crowd of New York City, I will go ahead and do that if they haven't seen me before. The Melrose Ballroom is a nice little venue. It's a very like the environment is just very intense when you're in there. And so I'm looking forward to all of that. It gets me in the zone, just to even think about things like that. So I'm very much looking forward to it and going ahead and showing again, once again, why I am the kick demon.
And obviously, I mean, you are not the only one defending your title on this card. We've got several other title matches elsewhere on the card. Besides yours, is there a particular matchup you are? I feel like I already know the answer to this, but is there a particular matchup that you are looking forward to other than your own?
Well, of course, I'm looking to seeing Miyu again versus Del
Yes.
for the princess. That is wow, a very big opportunity for Dalmi. I mean, good luck to her. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, Miyu, I've been in the ring with her as well, and with her being the pink striker, I don't know. I don't know if Delmi can't beat the kick demon. I don't know about the pink striker. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
Yeah, like you said, Princess of Princess title. Mio Yamashita will be defending against Delmi Exo. Obviously, we've got the MLW World Heavyweight Championship. We got the National Openweight title on the line. Lots of titles on the line with this, but also along with One Shot, we will have a set of tapings for a Fusion TV where your manager, Selena De Renta, will be making her in ring debut for MLW in an intergender match against Ichiban. Selena has not wrestled in general since early 2022, but what are your thoughts on now seeing her get back into the ring for her MLW in ring debut?
I'm excited for her. I'm sure that she has been note-taking herself, being that like who she's managed herself. I'm sure
Yes.
she's been keeping an eye and taking those mental notes. She's very educated. I mean, she just graduated from college. So
Yes.
I can see her really coming in with a whole different attitude, different style, even that because she's just managed those with different styles. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. And Ichiban, I mean, Ichiban is Ichiban, but I don't think he's ready for this.
Yeah, we have not seen it just in general. Selena has not wrestled since early 2022. Before that, she had one match in 2021. And then before that, I think it was 2018. So we haven't really gotten to see this new Selena De La Renta kind of in the ring yet. So we really don't know what she's going to offer up. But like you said, she's absorbed a bunch of knowledge from the people that she's worked with, but kind of in the reverse, what are there certain things that you've learned while under the managerial services of Selena De La Renta?
Just going back to that attitude, coming in with this focused, determined attitude to just take over and destroy whatever comes your way. That's really what I've taken in from her.
Yeah, and obviously this attitude has kind of earned you this uprising on the professional wrestling scene. It also earned you a spot on this year's PWI Women's 250 list, where you ranked at number 205. Personally, I think you should have been in the top 100, should have been a lot higher personally. You've achieved a lot. But can you talk about your initial reaction to finding this out and also what this honor meant to you?
Well, I did rank lower this time around than the last time, so that kind of got me a little bit, just a little bit. Um, but it just feels great to be part of just a list in general where people can look at it and kind of see new names and faces and whatnot of people that they just never heard of before. So that's always like why I like lists like that. I don't necessarily think about the ranking because it's not necessarily like a ranking to me. It's more
Yeah.
of oh, look at this list of names. If you guys haven't heard of this person, here's a little bit about them. Go check them out. Go check out their matches. So I think I kind of admire seeing lists and being part of lists like that for that reason.
Yeah, and like I said, you have had a whirlwind of a year, multiple tours of Japan. You made your UK debut. You've held multiple championships this year, including one right now. We were talking earlier about your goals for this title reign, but more generally, what are some of your personal and professional goals for the upcoming 2024 year? That's right around the corner.
Yeah, I was just writing them down a couple days ago, to be honest, as far as what my personal goals are and of course my wrestling goals. And I personally, I just want to keep learning and growing and making more moves in my personal life. Be a step further than I was this year because I personally feel like I wasn't like held back, but I could have done a lot more. And that's just me being picky on myself. And I was just busy a lot with wrestling, which is nothing to complain about too. So that kind of took over my personal life schedule and plans. But I'm very, very satisfied with how the wrestling part went this year. But I do want to travel a lot more. I do want to debut a lot more places. I'm looking at more so like the West Coast or even Europe, more countries in Europe to debut at, and just wrestle those, going back to those who just have that hustle and that just that attitude in the ring. I want to wrestle more people like that so I can learn a lot more because there's a lot more things I need to learn, and also just upping my game when it comes to being behind the scenes, behind the camera, more character development, which I'm personally working on.
Yeah, like you said, I feel like we're all our own, worst critics. We can get like all this praise, but I feel like we're all our own, we overanalyze everything. But I feel like that has definitely fueled you to up your game. And I'm interested to see where you go from the character dynamic and also what destinations you land next in the new year. You said that you were thinking about the West Coast and Europe as potential destinations for you. Are there certain competitors from either of those landscapes that you're eyeing as potential opponents next year?
Well, there are specific companies for
Okay.
sure. But I mean in Europe, I did make my UK debut at Pro
Yes.
Wrestling Eve and I had two matches and I loved both of them. I love the style over there. I love the roster that Pro Wrestling Eve has. I would like to go back there, or I would like to even go to Progress. I know there's WXW in
Yeah.
Germany. I see a lot of my friends going over there, so I would like to make a stop over there for sure. No particular opponent in mind. Maybe Millie McKenzie. That's one for sure that I've had an eye on, but all of them from what I've seen have that attitude, that grit, and that's what I kind of want to face, you know?
Yeah, I feel like those opponents very well kind of match that intensity that you have, I would definitely love to see a match with Janai Kai and Millie McKenzie. That would be incredible, honestly. So I hope somebody books it. But final question, like we said, this year is slowly coming to a wrap very soon. Looking back on this year, can you tell me three things that you are grateful for personally and or professionally this year?
Yeah, I'm definitely grateful for my family, of course, because they've had my back for the most part, especially during my wrestling career. They're always looking forward to what I'm doing next. And they even try, like even my dad tries to give me some notes of certain things because he's so into wrestling as well. And so I'm very grateful for my family. Um, I am grateful for just my supporters in general. I get a lot of love, which I'm definitely surprised by for some reason with how much support I actually
You are incredible, Janai. You
have.
deserve it.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, like it shocks me all the time, even like certain messages that I get randomly of people, being very influenced by my style. I've had people say that they went back to martial arts because they saw how I was in the ring. So that means a lot to me. So definitely my supporters. And I'm grateful for my faith in God as well, because I went through a very serious injury, and
Yeah.
that's something that I kind of paid more attention to during my whole recovery process, and that's what's helped me.
Yeah, I mean, going through an injury where you weren't sure if you could even wrestle again, and now to see how far you've come is something to be super proud of. And obviously, you have a bright future ahead of you. So, I mean, like I said, you've had an incredible journey, and I hope you realize that. I know we're all our own worst critics, but I hope
Mm.
you realize that, Janai. Obviously, you have this amazing title defense coming up at MLW One-Shot, a Fight Plus premium live event coming live on Thursday, December 7th, beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before we let you go, can you please share where the listeners can find you online?
Yeah, so I am on Instagram and X with Janai_Kai as my handle. So you can see me on there. I also have a Twitch stream. It's twitch.tv/Janai Kai. And if you want to subscribe to like my Patreon, I do have one where I vlog and do daily blog posts. You can see me on patreon.com/Janai Kai.
Janai, thank you so much for chatting with me here again. I'm so excited to see Janai Kai versus Maki Itoh again. I feel like this is a kind of a newly reinvigorated Janai Kai, so I'm interested to see how this goes down in MLW One Shot as a whole. Janai, thank you so much again.
Thank you.